Thank you, Jennifer, and good morning to everyone. My name is Schleusener. The best way I can tell you to remember that is it rhymes with poisoner. And I wish I had something better to use than that. So if you come up with an idea, please share it with me. Schleusener rhymes with poisoner. I'm the Illinois State Statistician for NASS. That's the Agricultural Statistics Service. We do the crop reports and the livestock reports. With a group this large and this many producers, I would imagine that at least some of you were contacted in June as we were conducting our June acreage survey and our June hog and pig survey. Some of you may have been involved with a project where someone brought an aerial photograph to your farm and said, look at this, are you operating the land in this aerial photograph? And then they asked you questions about that land. If that happened, I hope the people that came to ask those questions were respectful and professional and courteous. Those are our enumerators, they're good people, they work for us all around the state. I also hope that every one of you responded to our surveys. They are voluntary. I will assure you that they are confidential by law, and because we are a statistical organization, they are also exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. So those of you that replied and cooperated with our survey, thank you very much. For those of you that did not, I hope you will change your minds in the future. Some of the results we're coming out with this Friday, quarterly hog and pig report will be released. And on Tuesday next week, the June acreage report as well as the June 1 grain stocks report. And I know that that one in particular will be of interest to many of you, perhaps the Friday one as well. In terms of a survey to measure some of these techniques, we're at the very beginning stages of planning exactly what we want to know. But almost all of the players in this interesting conglomeration of groups are wanting to know, what are you guys doing? How can we prove and show that the Illinois producers are already doing some very good things to reduce runoff and to control nitrogen leaching and such like that. I'm new to this nutrient loss reduction strategy. This is the second meeting that I've attended, and so I'm still learning things. Some of the things that I see over and over again is they talk about science and data a lot. They talk about research. They use the word voluntary a lot. They talk about management techniques and proactive strategies. All of those things sound to me like things that effective businesses do. Strong organizations are using science and data, and I think effective businesses, like the businesses you run, are using science and data. I expect they're all doing proactive strategies and thinking about the future. I know that they're using management techniques because there are some problems you cannot eliminate problems, but you can manage around them. Your skill as an entrepreneur and a businessman will help you with that. I hope that each of you were able to learn one or more good takeaway items from all the information here that you can take back to your farm and use it and help us go in the right direction. Later on this fall, perhaps in the winter, I expect some of you will perhaps get a questionnaire in the mail that says, tell us about your cover crops. Tell us about your tillage techniques and some of the other things that are important. When that happens, I hope you fill out the form and send it back to us in the mail. When we collect a report, whether it's a special survey for people like the Council on Best Management Practices, or whether it's one of our federal surveys to measure crop production and yields, when we gather data via the mail, it's probably about $1.50. That's postage and paper. If we have to call you on the phone, which we do, it's probably $5 or $10, depending on how many times we try to call you. And if we have to send someone out to knock on your door and talk to you face-to-face, it's probably $50 to $100, depending on circumstances. I hope we can all save the government some money. And when we save the government money, guess what? That's your money and my money. The best way I think we can do to help out with things like this is to go ahead and fill out that paper form, put it in the postage paid envelope, and send it back. If you've got questions about it, I've got business cards on the table back there. I'll be glad to talk to you. Jennifer.